All right, we've got chapter 1 of point 4. We got Jason, Bill, and Mike, and I'm JJ, and this is point 4. So, beginnings. We're going to talk about why and how we got into wrestling. Who wants to jump on that one first? Who's got some fond memories?
Ours is pretty much the same.
Ours is going to be very similar, so maybe... For me, I remember going... I'm going to blame this guy for getting me into wrestling. I remember going to your house, you know, either spending a night or just hanging out, and you always had Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines. You always had AWA recorded, and that was all new to me. Because we started with WWE, Saturday Night's Main Event.
No, we started with AWA.
Well, AWA too, yeah.
What was it on at night?
Yeah, it was
on
nice.
Saturday nights, like 10:30.
Yeah.
Yep.
On WWF.
Yep. Channel 9.
Yep.
And then...
We'll see how, like, my mom liked to watch it, and so I'd stay up late and watch it on Saturday night, and it just was something that was cool, and just seeing guys beat up each other, and obviously back then,
Yeah.
you thought it was all real. And you had
Like
to
how
do it in
old,
the
do you
back.
remember how old you were?
Probably
10-ish?
Probably, maybe earlier than that
Yeah.
even. Because, you know, I remember the AWA when, like, Baron Von Raschke, Mad Dog Vachon, I remember seeing stuff like that on TV
Yeah.
for them, which they're from the 80s,
80s.
early 80s.
Yep.
The High Flyers.
Baron, is he still alive?
Yes.
He's still working too, isn't he?
He's still
He's got to be.
I think so.
80s? He's got to be.
Yeah.
'cause
He just did something recently.
Yep, I just saw
Wow.
his name recently
Yeah.
somewhere.
But, you know, that's for me, that's what it was watching it, because then I'd be able to stay up late and watch it, and like I said, it was like 10:30, 11:30.
It was
on
10:30
Saturday.
after the news.
Yep. And that's what you waited up to see. And like I said, when you saw all that,
It was every Saturday night, was it?
every Saturday night.
Every Saturday. Yeah, okay.
And then, like I said, you know,
It didn't last long though, I don't think.
no, it was on for a while.
Was it?
Well, see, the thing is, they had cable. We didn't.
Oh, we had the antenna.
We had
the bunny
antenna,
ears.
and trying to get NBC for a main event, that was tough.
Yeah. And seeing, like, you know, like I said, the AWA was, and still, I wish that AWA was still around, because, you know, look at all the stars that it produced out of the Minneapolis area.
Scott Hall,
Scott
Kurt
Hall.
Hennig,
Hulk Hogan.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan.
Jesse Ventura.
Yep.
Yep. Who else? Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Andre was pretty much everywhere.
He was already
but
everywhere.
Yeah, he was the traveling carnival.
Yeah.
Did
by
Flair
himself.
start in Minnesota?
He got trained by Vern Gagne.
Yep.
But I don't know if he ever wrestled there much in the AWA, but he was mainly like Georgia and stuff like that, North Carolina.
NWA.
NWA.
The traveling NWA champion. He'd go to different organizations.
Yeah.
That's when the world champ was the world champ.
Like,
Yeah, because he'd wrestle in Atlanta one night,
Yep.
then be in Dallas the next night, and then in San Francisco the next day.
Work for Fritz and then go and work for somebody else and work for Ole
McMahon
and work
Sr.
for Bill Watts.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, those territories is what's hurting wrestling nowadays, not the lack of territories, the lack of competition, the lack of variety.
Well, it's the whole learning curve, I think. You learn on the road.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get better.
Yeah.
You know. Now
You go to
WWE, you're trained their way.
Yep, you train their way, and it's just like they farm you, it's like cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, and it wasn't like you look at the WWE now, besides, say, Kevin Owens or somebody like that, but you look at back in the day, you had the Long Riders, Bill Irwin and Scott Hogg Irwin, they called them. Wild Bill Irwin and Scott Hogg Irwin.
What were they called? Long Riders?
Long Riders.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and they're from Minnesota, but that's who, like, one of my memories of going to the Quant was seeing Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig against them for the tag team titles.
Wow.
And but you know, those guys, they didn't look like wrestlers, but
No.
they just looked like a normal guy walking down the street.
Yeah.
And then you had the Hennig and Scott Hall that were
Muscle,
All look like a
muscles.
jacked up Magnum PI.
With the
Exactly.
porn
That was
stash.
Scott Hall before the drugs.
Yeah. but you know what I mean? And then you just had all walks of life. You had Jerry Blackwell, who was from Stone Mountain, Georgia, and he was like 480 pounds.
Haystacks.
Haystacks Calhoun.
But you know what I mean? You had Mad Dog Vachon.
Vern.
Vern. He was just an Olympic wrestler.
Yeah.
And he wrestled till he was, what, 60?
Yeah.
Something
Easy.
like that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe even longer?
at the time, he was just a wrestler.
Yeah.
But you look back at it now, it's like, wow, that old guy.
Yeah. Well, and then you think about it.
Even Stu Hart.
Yeah.
He was.
But keeping with the AWA, you got like Nick Bockwinkel, Ray the Crip with Stevens.
Gorgeous George.
Yeah.
They were
Adrian
all
Adonis.
50s,
Adrian Adonis
60s.
started
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
Larry Zbyszko.
Larry Zbyszko. Yep.
Yeah, he was old.
There was I went to the summer when I went to the state fair. Greg Gagne and Jim Brunzell were there, and they looked like they could wrestle. Yeah.
I met John Bronzell.
Yeah, and
Quad,
they both were nice guys, and of course I got an autographed picture because I'm a dork like that, and I collect all that crap.
Yep.
And my wife tells me I should get rid of it, but
And we're going to talk about that later.
but anyways, they had a poster with all the champions at AWA, and I didn't buy it, and I should have, because now I think back, I'm like, oh, that'd been cool to frame and have it hanging somewhere.
Yeah.
But let's look at all the names that were on there, and like I said, Larry Zbyszko was I think he was the last champion, but Jerry Lawler even wrestled up there.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he
Because they
came
used to
that
do
far
their
north.
super shows or whatever, and he'd wrestle against the champion, or as champion versus champion, Memphis against Minnesota, basically.
Yeah.
That was before they did like the Super Brawl or whatever they call it? Or was that
Super Card?
Super Clash.
Super Clash.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Clash. That's
Super Clash.
it. Yeah. And that, they sell out the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, or was it Comiskey Park?
Outside stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Which
do
they had it really weird.
Yeah.
A weird setup. They had the fans so far away from the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those were the memories that I like watching those guys, and like I said, going to see those guys wrestle, and you see them, they're larger than life, and it's like, wow. But
What was your first live event?
I think it was when they did the AWA did like a recording, and it was like they recorded like 3 episodes, and so like I remember the Mongolian Stomper was one of the guys, and he wrestled 3 matches that night, and he got beat all 3 times. But then there was what the heck was the guy's name?
That was talent enhancement.
Yeah.
Or jobber.
Jobber.
Yeah, but it was like Jake the Milkman Milliman. That guy, he was
remember
always
him.
on the AWA, and he was like like what the Brooklyn Brawler was.
Yeah.
He's this guy that got beat up every week, and you just
Paid
loved
to
watching
lose.
him. Yeah, but you liked watching him. And yeah, my earliest memories going to a live event was at the Quant.
Yep.
When they did the 3 things, and like I said, there's Sergeant Slaughter, Henning, Hall, all those guys were there, and and they were just there doing what they love to do, and like I said back then, I believed it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so I thought, I was like,
It was
holy
real
cow,
to me, damn it.
Yeah.
I've never been to. We never went to a live AWA, WWF.
Yeah.
At the Quant.
WWF.
Yeah. And that was,
But even that was early '90s.
That was pretty much, we went on our own, right?
Yeah.
but seeing, like, I remember going to the Quant, seeing the Midnight Rockers in the main event in a steel cage.
They had a cage in the Quant.
Yeah.
Really?
What style was it? The chicken wire style
Yeah,
fence?
the old style.
Okay, the good.
Yeah, where they just bring in the
Yep.
the kennel panels.
Yep.
And put 4 on each side. But it was the Midnight Rockers against Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers for the tag team championship.
Playboy.
I was there.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, like, just seeing that, it's just like, wow. So they're beating the crap out of each other and they're bleeding. Which
I was
is,
gonna say they're all 4 of them were
Yeah,
bleeding like stuck
really?
pigs.
yeah, and and
Times
stuff
have
like
changed.
that. Yeah, it has. But those are my memories of growing up.
I like it.
Is the AWA.
And yours is similar too to the AWA. That's what you grew up on.
I started probably 83, 84 watching AWA with I think it was my uncles that liked wrestling, and they liked wrestling, from way back in the day. They had like pictures of like Billy Robinson and from the 50s and 60s.
Wow.
Obviously, I didn't watch it because I wasn't alive back then, but then I started watching them, and AWA at 10:30, and then about a year after the AWA, we got an antenna on our house, and we got 26 and 32 out of channel 26 and 32 out of Green Bay, and I started getting into world class out of Texas.
Wow.
And that's what really got me started. I'm like, I love the AWA, don't get me wrong, but if world class would have had some, I don't know what the word is, but if they would have had some vision.
Vision, a drive to.
Because that was the first
Look to
time
the
I ever
future.
seen anybody come out to music was in world class, and like they were ahead of their time.
Oh, the Freebirds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the Freebirds?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the first ones to come out to music.
And the boys, the Von Erich boys, wanted to venture out of Texas. But Fritz, being old school,
No,
the
we
territories
Can't. Yep.
can't infringe on other people's territories. If Fritz would have listened to the boys and ventured out, I think to this day
Things
I
would have
think-
been different.
I
How
think-
we wouldn't have a McMahon running everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, and the thing is, like, what those territories should have did back then was when they saw this happening with McMahon coming in, is what they should have did is they should have centralized and did like from Minnesota down to Texas. Everybody in that zone join up, and then from that way west join up. Then you still had your NWA in the Georgia and North Carolinas. Then you had WWE in the northeast.
yeah.
And I think if they would have thought about it and they would have joined forces, they could have kept some of their stars in just their areas, and then you would have had more competition.
And still respect
And
the
who knows-
territory.
Yeah, and still, who knows by this day, who knows what would have happened, and maybe McMahon still would be in charge of everything. But the thing is, like, they could have, and here we are. We're not like we're old, but you
30 years we've been fans.
yeah, and you think about that now, and it's like, they should have thought about that back then. And now we think about it now, and it's like, well, that'd have been the thing to do, because now, just for somebody to try to compete against McMahon, you're gonna need
A lot of money.
yeah, a lot of money.
TV.
All these old promoters, they were stubborn.
Yeah,
They like, no, we're gonna make it on our own. We're gonna.
but
They're
I
making
think,
it
The only
fail.
guy that came close to putting Vince out was Ted Turner because he had
Yeah.
money.
yeah. But see, then
that's-
what screwed him up was all the guaranteed contracts. he got.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where they ended,
You just,
because they spent money foolishly.
Yep.
And like what, freaking 3 years after he quit wrestling there, I think Goldberg still was getting a check from him.
There was a couple
Really?
guys that were still Sting.
Yeah,
I think was getting
yeah.
paid to sit
Yeah, there's a
home.
bunch of them that
I'm sure
had-
Hall and Nash were still getting paid.
Yeah, they all had guaranteed
They're the ones that
contracts.
started the
Yeah.
huge guaranteed stuff.
But they had all guaranteed contracts, so they didn't wrestle for 3 years, but they still got a paycheck.
Yeah.
And that'd be nice to do, huh?
No kidding.
Sit at home and just, hey, here's my monthly check or my yearly check.
That's, Kevin Nash. He was in for it for the money.
Yeah.
And he got it.
They got
Got what he
the
wanted.
Yep.
How much does anybody even know, like a number?
It was millions.
Per year? Per what?
Probably per year.
Yeah,
I think it was. Like the bigger stars, they got
Yeah, it was
millions
like
per year.
It was like a couple million.
Yeah, it wasn't like
That doesn't sound like that much nowadays.
But
But nowadays,
Nowadays.
this
Like
is-
Cena
that
makes
was-
what, 5 million a year?
no, he probably makes more.
More?
Well,
Well,
now if you just say wrestling, then he makes 5 million wrestling.
then you've got
with
merch.
endorsements, merchandise, and all the stuff that he endorses, all the movies.
Yeah.
He's probably.
I'm just
he's
talking
getting
like
close to what
a
The Rock is
paycheck
making.
from Vince and then probably royalties on merchandise.
How much is Brock making per year? Double, right?
Oh,
for not doing
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, for 2 matches a year.
exactly.
Yeah, we're not going to ruin this show by
Yeah.
talking about Brock. Let's stay positive. Let's stay on point here. So, you had world class.
I had world class, and then a couple years later, after watching world class and AWA, we got cable, and that's when I really started liking the NWA. I loved the NWA with Flair and the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors are my absolute favorite.
Which
I mean,
started in the AWA?
Yeah.
Didn't they?
I think so. So, I didn't know of world class till probably early 90s. I think it was Global Were they on ESPN?
Or
like
UWF. Wasn't it UWF? or
UWF
UWF?
at the Showboat.
something? No,
No, that was AWA
That was
at the
AWA
Showboat.
at the Showboat.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So I got a story about the show.
But World Class changed from like, it was from World Class, and then all the Von Erichs died,
Yeah.
and it was like changed to the USWA,
Yep.
and after that it was it continually shrunk until it was like that.
Yeah, see, I don't have an early memory of WCCW. I
No,
mean,
me neither.
See, like for me, the earliest memory I got of it is when WWE came out with that video, the documentary of
the
them.
tragic
Yeah.
story of
Yeah, and I bought it just I'm like, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was good, but because I never.
And like I said, I came upon it as on a fluke when I was flipping the channels. I saw it, and I was like, and my first memory of World Class was it was a match between Kerry Von Erich and the One Man Gang, and the One Man Gang was a badass back in the day.
Yeah.
So, and as soon as I watched that, I was like, this is pretty cool. I like this.
Yeah. My very first memory I have is also a fluke of flipping through channels and seeing Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine on, and Dad yelling at me to change that crap. You know,
was that a Saturday Night's Main Event or something?
I don't even know what it was. I just saw a glimpse of two big dudes, and there was probably literally 10 seconds, but I still remember that. That was probably the earliest. After that was probably staying up late and watching AWA.
Yeah, AWA. I remember watching that first, and then figuring out it's like
Yeah, and then all of a sudden NBC with the Saturday Night's
Main Event.
Yep.
Because we would watch Saturday Night Live every once in a while. It's like, well, what the heck is this crap doing on Saturday Night's Main Event? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
give it a shot. You know, oh, wrestling.
And then our mom worked for this guy who was a wrestling fan, and we'd always get the pay-per-views Monday or Tuesday
record
whenever
them
he'd
for us,
record
yeah.
them for us. I want to say like WrestleMania 4 was probably the first one he gave us. Then she'd
I
bring it
think
home
so.
from work and here, watch this. And like, what is that?
Yeah.
And that's,
The first time I ever watched WWE, at the time WWF, was, I think I told you the story. Ryan Bublitz lived right across, and he was very good friends of mine.
and he had a satellite.
He had one of those
big
great
round one.
satellite dishes, and his dad was into wrestling, and we watched. He's like, "Come on over."
Oh, you didn't sit in your bedroom with the binoculars and watch?
We watched the first WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
That's
And
crazy.
I think, remember Jason Kinney?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still good friends with him, and he had the big freaking
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember him.
I
always
remember,
talking about
yeah.
And having all the
yeah,
LGN toys and
Yep.
Yeah, and I went to his house, and I think I watched the first WrestleMania, first or second.
You saw it too.
It was one of the first ones. That was a long time ago.
And the second one, I went to
Yeah, because it was the second one is where they went to that was when they went to 3 different locations.
Yeah.
three different.
Was
New
it two?
York? No, yeah, it was WrestleMania 2 because it was
Chicago?
New York, Chicago, and LA.
Yep. Yeah.
When
So I
the
know
sec-
for sure I saw that one.
But the second one I saw, they did closed circuit down at the Fox Theater.
No kidding.
So they closed circuit was
Damn, we were really
when
out of
they
the
rented
loop.
out when they rented out like movie theaters and stuff.
Yeah. I've heard they used to do that.
Yep.
Yep.
Huh.
I wonder how much did they charge for something like that? A couple
I have
bucks to just
no
go in there and
idea.
sit in the theater and watch
Yeah.
wrestling?
But see, like now, and the thing too is the same thing with, say you have a bar or something and you want to
Yeah.
do it legally, I guess you'd say.
Legally, yeah, you have to. It's expensive.
Yeah, because I think it was a UFC
Go by
fight I tried.
capacity or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was a UFC fight that I wanted to get at the bar that I bartend at.
Yep.
And I told the owner, I'm like, well, just check into it and I'll pay for half of it. I'm like, it'll be like, it's $60 probably.
Nope.
No.
Not
Probably
for,
$300, right?
I think 6 or 7. Was
More
it?
than
That was
that.
like almost $1,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seriously?
It goes by capacity.
Yeah.
The capacity of the bar or something like that. Because we used to go to Partners every.
We used to go to Good Time Charlie's.
Well, Good Time Charlie.
I don't remember watching a pay-per-view at.
We went to Partners a couple times.
To watch a wrestling pay-per-view?
Yeah, wrestling pay-per-view. And I used to work second shift at Rosella, and we used to go down there and watch the replays after, and all the time we did that, and then all of a sudden they just stopped doing it. Then we asked the bartender why that was, and then
we got busted
because it was. They have to go by capacity, how much the bar can contain.
Yeah.
It's something.
You can't just log into your personal account. Like,
No, Good Time Charlie's was like feeding it from upstairs or something down below. It was a different account, it was like an apartment or something.
But
I don't know.
still,
We'd
that's
go
how they
there and
got
get a
away with it.
picture and pizza.
Yeah.
well,
That
I'm
was
seeing
fun.
somewhere else in Rapids did that for a while too.
Yeah, right by the tracks. What is that place called?
Somewhere Else.
Somewhere else.
Because they sponsored my.
Is that what you said? Somewhere else?
Yes.
I'm like trying to name the place.
Because he sponsored my softball team
Yeah.
for a while, and so I go in there. Then all of a sudden, that one time we were in there, and so I don't even remember how many years ago it was, but I went to the bathroom or something. There's a poster for SummerSlam or something, and I'm like, I'm reading it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This was before WWE Network, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I can watch wrestling here?
yeah, I'm like, really? So I
Didn't we go there for one?
Yeah. We went there for something. You were there too, weren't you?
I think I watched one at somewhere else. It might have been.
Yeah.
'cause it was like 1 year they had like all the pay-per-views, and then
Yeah.
he only did it the 1 year, and then he
Must have
quit
got in
doing
trouble.
it. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
So Max does that now,
Yeah.
but that's probably just his
With the network.
logs into his personal account.
Yep.
Now, can he get in trouble for that because it's not the
I
capacity?
have no idea. I just know that like
Maybe
when
we shouldn't. Maybe I
No,
should
it's not.
edit that out.
It's not, you're paying your $9.99 a month.
Now I don't think it's
I
that
don't
big a
know.
deal.
Now they don't care.
Yeah.
You
Now,
get $10
'cause
every
with
month.
the network, I don't think they care. But back in the day when they had pay-per-view, I think
They
that's
cared.
what it.
Yeah. Okay.
you know, when you paid the 50 or $49.99, or if you wanted an HD, it was $59.99 or something.
Yeah.
They
I
charged
remember
$10
when I started
more
doing that.
for.
I remember getting like a Western Union or something to pay for a pay-per-view.
Probably maybe
Going to County Market or
sending
something.
it to Dish or what?
Yeah, I don't remember how the hell that worked. But I remember having to do that like for a couple years.
I remember being at a bar. It's the Gentlemen's Club now, but it was called Huey's downtown Rapids, and that was the bar that we watched. I don't think you were there.
It was mud wrestling, right?
Yeah, Scott and Larry, my buddies Scott and Larry were there, and we watched the pay-per-view that Owen Hart died.
Yeah, we watched it.
We watched.
live,
Yeah.
I saw that too.
That
I was
was-
at one of my friends' houses. They got it, and that was amazing. Well, not amazing, but it was just.
It was like you jumped out of your seat and you just stood there like,
You didn't
What
know
the
what
hell just happened? What just happened?
Yeah,
is this
when you saw
what is this?
like when you saw Deborah McMichael and Jeff Jarrett crying. And,
Coming out the next match
Yeah.
crying.
I
You knew it was.
I still
Something
have that
bad.
recorded.
yeah. That's.
Yeah,
I have
Yeah.
the VHS in my
Kemper
basement.
Arena in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was.
I just
one of the
thank
sad
God
days.
that it didn't happen in today's world, because if it happened today,
Cell
I'm sick,
phones.
fuck,
Oh, yeah.
would have videotaped it.
Yep.
And
I don't think there is. I hope there isn't anything like that. I'm sure there is somewhere.
I
in
saw
WWE,
footage of
just the ring after
of the
it happened.
ring.
and him lying there.
Yeah, not up close.
No,
this
not
was
up
like
close.
balcony stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You didn't. I've never seen him actually drop.
No,
No.
So that 3-second delay they have on a pay-per-view, they
Because
cut
what that was,
that.
that they cut the Godfather or something. They did an interview, and then they like kind of cut to
Jim
the
Ross and Jerry
backstage
Lawler
interview or
Then
something.
they're like,
like I said,
Show
I
must
just
go
remember.
on.
I just
I
remember
remember.
seeing Jeff Jarrett and Deborah McMichael because they're
friends. They
friends
were
with
really
them,
good
and
friends
they
with
were,
one. Yeah.
They were all emotional on it, and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?"
Yeah.
That was something.
I laughed at first, thinking, "Haha, this
It's a joke.
that's what
idiot.
we all thought. We
You
were all at the
dumbass,
bar
what are you
thinking,
doing?"
It's part of the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we talked about why we got into wrestling. Your mom watched it.
Yeah.
We watched it because we
kind of fell into it
We
on our
just
own.
we fell
I mean,
in. It's like, ooh, what's this?
Flipping through,
Because our mom didn't watch it.
No.
Dad wasn't around to like introduce us
No.
to any of that. And you just did your parents watch wrestling? Were
Not
they
really.
okay with it?
They were all right with it. I mean, kept me out of trouble.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mom eventually started watching it with us.
Yeah,
I mean,
our
when we-
mom, she didn't really take a side on good or bad.
Yeah.
It's like, don't watch that because it's fake
Yeah.
or stupid. She didn't really, nothing like that.
My dad took me and Ryan to our first AWA show. He was to this day he'll mention there was a wrestler called Nord the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And he was amazed when he could step over the top rope. You know, I'm like, Dad, everybody does that. But he was like, wow, he stepped over the top rope. He was amazed.
Well, and you know, that Nord the Barbarian, when he went to WWE.
Berserker?
Berserker, same guy. John Nord.
John Nord.
Still to this day, one of the best finishing moves. Remember what his finishing move was?
Over the top
He
rope.
just threw the guy over the top rope.
Like taking out the
Never
garbage.
pinned anybody. He just threw the guy over the top rope.
He used that in AWA too?
No, he used it in the WWE.
Oh.
As Berserker. But yeah, because he was part of the whole I think he went to high school with like Rick Rude and Henning and all those guys. He was all
The Minneapolis Wrecking Crew or something. Is that what they were called? Or is that just a tag team?
That was a
I thought there was a before the click, there was a Minnesota click.
well, they just were all people from Robbinsdale. I think Robbinsdale, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because that's
where
Rick Rude, Kurt Hennig.
Greg Gagne, I think, was in there, or he was around there.
Scott Hall's not from Minnesota.
Frenzel?
is he?
No, Frenzel could have been, but the Road Warriors were from Minnesota. Or no, they're from
Chicago.
They're from Chicago.
Were they like originally
Yeah.
from Chicago?
It could
or is that
be.
just their story?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. They're the greatest of all time, but
They just
that's
had
all I know.
awesome face painting and entrance music.
Yeah, and it'd take about 2 seconds for them to win a match.
Yeah.
Like their song
Clothesline.
wouldn't even be done, and it was
They're the best finishing move.
Yep.
Doomsday Device.
Yeah, who just tried redoing that? Was that Ruby Riott that?
No, they did a heart attack, didn't they?
And that was horrible. Horrible.
Rip
They-
on,
Yeah.
Oh my
rip on
God.
Natty.
Like, oh my God.
If you can't do the move, don't do it.
Don't.
Yeah.
No half measures.
Early phase.
Yeah, so what we talked earlier about how wrestling has evolved from how we got into it to now. You know, with Vince taking over territories, for me, I think the internet is one thing that really changed wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, now you can go on and even before, like when Raw was taped, you could go on and read the results,
Dirt sheets.
dirt sheets. You could read.
Sometimes that's not a good thing, though.
No.
No.
And see, and I like that when you're the element of surprise.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
There's-
what made
that's
it.
it.
Good. And
Yeah.
you know, and like the latest thing they've done was when Ronda Rousey showed up at Royal Rumble. Everybody thought she was in Brazil
Yeah.
doing whatever.
Yep.
And then they got her into, or actually, let me
Filming.
reframe that or replace that one. The best one that got me excited in the last 5 years,
Hardys.
the Hardys at
That would
WrestleMania.
nobody knew because they
Nobody
did that
knew
one
exactly.
good.
Nobody
They-
knew, and they just lost tag team titles the night before
Yeah.
for Ring of Honor to the Young Bucks or whatever it was, and everybody's like,
Didn't expect it.
"You didn't expect
It's like,
it,"
yeah.
and that was
because they hid them. They
Yes.
They made
yeah.
sure.
so when their music hit, and I was watching that at home,
Pop.
and it was like it reminded me of the early '90s watching
Yep.
wrestling when you had
when you are surprised.
I was at
When you
Max,
are-
yeah, I jumped off my bar stool. I'm like, I can't believe this. As I was marking out big time.
yeah, because it was just like it was like one of the when you hear that pop, it was just like when the
Yeah.
Road Warriors came out and you heard the "Oh What a Rush,"
Yep.
Yeah.
and it just the place erupts. And
Yeah.
when the Hardys music hit that night, I just was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? The Hardys are here!" I'm like, "They just wrestled last night for Ring of Honor."
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? And I'm like, and that was like and like I said, the next one would have been when they hit Ronda Rousey and had her.
Vince wouldn't
Why?
let them do that with anybody else. So
Yeah.
if it's your last night here, you're not wrestling tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah, wait 90 days.
It was a
I
wait.
think my last, that was a good one. That Hardy's one was a good one. But my last real, wow, this is actually happening, was when AJ Styles showed up at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, you know, I
When
kind
I
of
was
knew he
like-
was gonna. I knew he was gonna be there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was that on? Was that
No,
Nobody.
I saw
you
him
just
at Ring of
figured?
Honor like 2 months before, and they said he like when I was talking to him, I met him there. I got his autograph, whatever, and we're talking, and he said that he was he's only got a few more matches left. I'm like, oh, then what are you doing? Going to the Royal Rumble? And all I did was smile. So I'm like, oh, he's showing up.
Really?
Yeah. And so that was like
cool.
because I saw him in Milwaukee at Ring of Honor like 2 months prior.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I kind of had that one. I was like, yeah, he's there.
One that really sucked for me was Bobby Lashley. Was it like the day of he was
We
supposed
were
to?
recording.
We were recording, and then we saw a picture of him on a laptop at ringside.
Yeah.
It's like, that could have been cool if they didn't screw that up.
Yeah, and this is off the topic a little bit, but they really shit the bed with him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I got that little mouthpiece for him. Give him somebody cool.
Leo Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Lashley heel, but I think they're
First
doing it
thing
wrong.
they should have done is you have an MMA fighter and Lesnar over here. You have an MMA fighter and Lashley over here. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Lashley should have took that belt off of him
Yes.
his first day there.
I'd like to see Batista come back and face Lashley.
I would like to see Batista come back and take out Lesnar. Anybody take out Lesnar.
Yeah.
You know, I like Batista.
Yeah.
But when they did that Evolution reunion,
That was dumb.
he looks a lot smaller.
They
now.
did drop a little,
But yeah, with the whole Triple H.
Yeah.
you never beat me thing,
Yeah.
you know? It's like,
Yeah.
So there's always a chance for him coming back.
But he,
Yeah.
he
They
doesn't
gotta
look
keep
as
the door open.
muscular as he used to. I don't know if
He's still pretty ripped.
No,
though.
he is. But
But he's, how do you say it? He's not.
the genetic freak.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not
For
saying he's
wrestling
not put
standards.
together. But I mean, before he was like,
No,
He's probably more comfortable
He's-
now.
yeah,
Hollywood form.
Yeah.
yeah.
Movie,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. He's like an acting. How do you say it? Acting form or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like wrestling. All you do is, well, shouldn't say all you do, but
You got to have the
Sleep,
look.
drive, wrestle, and
work out,
work out.
Train, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Batista was one guy I like too.
Yep.
And he always said, too, he'd love to come back and do another run.
But see, when they brought him back, that time with the Royal Rumble,
Oh.
he was kind of put in a no-win situation.
Well, that was in the middle of that
Blue
Daniel
Tista.
Bryan.
Yeah.
That Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
thing.
nobody
Yeah.
wanted
Nobody
anybody
wanted-
but
exactly
Bryan, yeah.
And so he kind of got screwed over on that.
Yeah,
I think.
do the higher ups in WWE listen to their fans?
They don't even watch their own
No.
product. There's no way they have DVRs and they're watching this.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But like even we should get back to
Yeah. So
Old
you
school.
met almost every wrestler.
Quite a few.
You've got a list.
people
And
that I met.
there's one that he's gone and you didn't make. Was that Piper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I was going to meet him, and it's probably 2 months prior to his death, and it was at a Madison Mallards game, and him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan were going to be there signing autographs, and so I'm like, oh, so I got everything ready, and the night before, they announced that Piper was going to be there because he was sick or something, and then they had Road Warrior Animal there, which, is still cool.
Just to drive up from
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah, so it was still worth me going, but yeah, he's a wrestler that I wish I could have met, and I guess there's the other one would be Dusty Rhodes would have been one
Yeah.
that I'd have loved to have.
Oh, you didn't meet him?
I never got to meet him.
Oh.
And that's
so-
one that those are the two that
He was one of your faves.
yeah.
I
And those
remember.
were- just because he looked like me,
I mean, I remember growing up, being young. You always talking about Dusty
Yeah,
Rhodes and
but he
Ric
just-
Flair, and at the time, I'm like,
Who's Dusty Rhodes?
I don't know these guys.
but
yeah, like
I don't know NWA.
Like I said earlier, we would go to his place and see Pro Wrestling Illustrated
Yeah.
and AWA stuff.
Who's
everywhere.
this
It's like,
Sting guy? He looks cool.
this isn't wrestling.
We
What are
have
you
the
talking
Ultimate
about?
Warrior.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but yeah, and those were the two guys that I'd say that if I could have met, I wish I could have. And and I wish you think about stuff and it's like, man, I should start doing this before, like because just in the last 6-7 years is when I really started going to meet people. And another one that kind of irritated me that I didn't get the chance to meet was China, because she was at this Blizzard Brawl in Waukesha, and it was 3 or 4 years ago maybe.
I remember that.
And I was going to go to it so I could meet her and get a magazine sign that I had of her.
What one?
It was just a magazine.
Playgirl?
Yeah. But we went to Minnesota for the weekend for a family thing. And then I'm like, oh, well, I'll meet her sometime down the road. And then, 5 months later, 6 months later, she passed away, which that kind of sucked. But it's life.
So what are you trying to tell us? If you have the opportunity to go see a wrestler,
Go see him.
go see him.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
You meet anybody?
No, I didn't. I wish I would have.
I don't have a long list.
He met Tito Santana,
I've got a picture.
and then he got yelled at
I got a picture of Tito Santana like this yelling at me.
behind the
Because
curtain.
I tried sneaking around to get into the back at the Quant. That's where I met Jumpin' Jim
Weren't we looking
Brunzell.
for the bathrooms?
No, I was looking for wrestlers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw Jim Brunzell. He was on the phone, and he said hi to me and shook my hand. And I went a little bit farther back, and then Tito Santana came through a door and said, "You're not supposed to be back here." And I don't know if that's a meeting.
I remember hearing it.
I don't remember if that's a meeting, but then I took my picture quick and ran.
One of my friends went to the Quant when the WWF was in town, and then after the show they went to Perkins. It was my friend Jamie and guy Matt Klender. He was he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wheels.
Yeah, Wheels. And they went to Perkins, and it was just a fluke. Shawn Michaels and Diesel was there.
Yeah.
And Matt said, Kevin Nash was one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Shawn Michaels was the biggest dickhead you'd ever want to meet.
Was that before or after he got his ass kicked?
That was probably.
It was probably early 90s, so.
That's when
He
Diesel
said-
was probably a bodyguard.
Yeah, and he said that Diesel was buying him, not drinks, but buying him soda and just like really cool. And he said Shawn Michaels was just a jerk.
A douchebag, yeah. He seems
Well,
like a
we
douche.
ran into Sensational Sherry, Brian Knobs,
Brian
at
Knobs.
a Marshfield show.
Yeah, we met them in Marshfield. There was somebody else.
Yeah.
Right, Jerry Saganovich.
Oh, Greg Valentine. That's my Greg Valentine
Yeah,
story.
you were telling me about
Because he
that.
was going to charge me $5 to get his phone number because he wanted to train me.
Yeah.
Do you know any of the Gagnes that's like not Greg Gagne,
Dale
but
Gagne or something.
Dale?
Is there Dale Gagne?
I thought it was Tim or something like that. He was the one promoting that show. I forgot what it
but
was. And I talked to him. I'm like, hey.
You know what it was? It was All American Wrestling.
Yeah.
From
That
out
sounds
of
right.
Eau Claire.
Yep.
They're out of Eau Claire.
Yeah.
Because I saw him up in Wausau a couple times, and they never had anybody big with them. But I remember Peyton Banks in TNA. She was Bobby Roode's personal assistant.
No.
My God. I can't picture her face right now.
Well, anyway,
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she was like,
Did she start in the All-American?
yes. And I got
Really?
a picture autographed by her because the guys thought she was cute. And like I said, this had to be 20 years ago, maybe. Yeah, at least 20 years ago. I saw her there.
Really?
And,
Well-
her name's Bonnie Maxon. Look her up sometime.
20 years is probably when I was doing the indie stuff, and that's when I was talking
and it
to
was
Valentine.
All-American Wrestling out of Eau Claire, and I thought his name was Dale Gagnon, maybe.
Oh.
Gagnon.
I thought it was Gagne,
Yeah.
and he wanted money from me right away. And then he's like, "Well, go talk to Valentine." And then I wanted to talk to Valentine. He's like, "Well, give me your number." I'm like, "Here, give me a piece of paper. You got a whole pile of papers right there." Like, "No, those are $5 for his autographs." He wouldn't
Just
even
a
give
piece of paper for his.
I'm like,
yeah.
"I just want to write my number on it so you can call me, or I can call you, or you know." I forgot how much it was. He was going to charge me. Wouldn't that have been cool to be trained by Greg Valentine?
Hall of Famer.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you
I
met
know.
Brian Knobs and Sherry.
Yep.
You
I
were-
got both their
I
autographs.
think you were talking to them when I was dealing with Valentine,
Yep.
and then
Sensational Sherry was awesome.
I did.
She was awesome.
Yeah,
I wish I could have met her.
Yeah, she looks better in person. But at least then she looked really good.
Still have those.
That was 20 years ago.
You still have them?
Yeah.
What are they autographed on?
Their photos.
Really?
It was their. I think I paid like $10.
Yeah, they were.
Are they
you know.
signed to you though?
No, I think
You know,
it's.
the first
They
thing-
might have been like already
First thing
pre-signed.
mine when with Cher Martel
Huh?
is when
Wildfire.
Tommy Rich ripped the dress off.
I dream about that all the time.
Remember when we seen that?
Yeah.
It's like, did that just happen? Yeah. And it's like,
And you know what?
She's
I
in her
wish we were
nightgown.
recording this so we can rewind the VCR tape and watch it again.
Yep, that was one of my fondest memories.
And Tommy Rich, I thought was awesome.
Yep,
Yeah.
he was cool. I loved him.
Yeah. And
especially
actually, it
that's when the first time I fell in love.
He was an awesome talker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Man,
he was just like
fire.
He was like Dusty Rhodes. And
Yeah, he was like a
could
mini
cut a-
Dusty.
Yeah, he could cut a promo and you believed what he said.
Yeah,
He was
you know?
just like so fast, so hyper. You know, never stuttered.
He didn't really. He didn't. Like probably for Vince, he didn't have the
No,
look.
exactly.
You know.
But that's what we get
Mike,
back to the territories with. Like half the guys that were in AWA, half of them never made it to WWE. Half the guys that were in
Oh, am I going to sell
NWA
T-shirts with that face on it?
If you were jacked up Vince was going to steal
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
you. If you were a fan favorite, Vince was going to steal
Yep.
you.
Yep.
You know,
If
somebody
you-
that was already had a name, already kind of had a gimmick. Well, we'll tweak you a little bit.
I'll go one for you. There's a wrestler in the AWA that he wasn't a superstar, but he actually won a lot of matches in the AWA. Rock and Roll Buck Zumoff, and then he went to WWF. He went to he was like a jobber in the.
I don't even
WWF.
remember
I
him
don't
there.
think he ever won a match. in
No,
the
he never did, but he came out with his. He was the light heavyweight champion of the world in AWA.
Yeah.
And nobody could beat him. Came out with his boom box.
Yeah,
We saw him at I could have swore it was Bruisers.
No, it was Underground.
it was the Underground.
Because I was there too. Because I still got an autographed picture.
Buck Zumoff, yeah.
And then I saw him at.
that was sad. 'cause
That was really sad. I'm like, isn't his underwear? He's wearing underwear.
We got the special guest. Nobody. It was like a surprise. And then this jobber and they introduced the jobber, and then our special guest, Rock and Roll Buck Zumoff. And I looked at Jeremy, and he looked back at me, and then sure enough, Rock and Roll comes out in his tidy white.
They look
The
like
stereo is blasting me. He's still got this 1984 boombox.
50-pound jukebox on his
Yeah.
shoulder.
Well, and yeah, like him, it was. I saw him at the Underground or whatever it was. I think it was Underground.
I coulda swore it was
99%
Bruisers.
sure
Yeah,
that's where
I
it
think
was,
it was.
the Underground.
Yep.
Just because I remember I had a brand new pair of pants and I had too many to drink, and it was late in the night, and I hooked
know
my.
where that's going.
I hooked my pants. I ripped my pants open. I'm like, God, that's why I remember it was Underground, because
I just remember Buck Zumoff was like the light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
And then he went to the WWF after AWA went out of business, and he could not win a match.
No.
That's
Enhancement talent.
yeah.
Exactly.
Vince did that to a lot of people. Just
but I think it's
Bastion Booger.
yeah, and you think about it, like even to this day, people that he signed from other companies, a few he gives good pushes to, but like you can't tell me Nakamura shouldn't be pushed more than what he is. I think, and I don't really care for the guy, but
Yeah.
New Japan Wrestling,
Yeah.
he was a legend. You know what I mean? And
I
you
think-
carried that over, and the like right now
They're having a hard time with the American fans trying to understand them, really.
But then the biggest thing, like right now, I guess you could say, is the Bullet Club with Gallows and Anderson. They're the hottest thing going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't even be started on.
Yeah, and those guys are awesome.
Or even Finn Balor.
Yeah, exactly. And you
Yeah,
know,
they won't tie into that stuff. AJ. I mean, they'll go AJ and the Good Brothers once in a while.
good, but
Yeah, but they won't tie really anything.
and
Because Vince didn't create it, so he doesn't want
they
to.
don't,
Exactly.
don't want you to think about it.
but
He's a
Anderson-
selfish prick.
But he's been like that
Forever.
forever.
Since
I'll
go-
I'll go back to Dusty. Dusty was an absolute legend superstar before he even stepped foot in the WWF.
And then you throw
and then they
polka
put
dots.
polka dots.
Yeah,
he was
they-
a joke when he first did. I'm
Never
like,
held a
come on.
championship, did he? In WWF.
I don't think he did.
But in one way, I don't know. I'm not gonna give Vince any credit here, but I think he brought him in just to help, in talent, because he thought Dusty was that good. I don't know if he did it to kill the Rhodes name. I don't. But I always thought, like, man, him and Savage, those feuds or whatever. I thought it helped.
Well, yeah. Dusty got himself over but with the polka dots.
Yeah.
But I think when he first
What was his
started,
manager's name?
Sapphire.
I
Okay.
didn't
I just-
understand.
I
I
just
didn't
wanted to
understand
check.
the whole Sapphire thing.
Yeah, I
but,
didn't get that either.
We didn't need that.
Yeah.
But if you fast forward 15, 20 years,
Dustin's doing the same thing.
yeah, Cody, Vince didn't have any faith in Cody.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
Cody doesn't need the WWE.
No,
at
I
all.
don't need you.
Yeah, look at how many gimmicks Cody went through,
Exactly.
Did
Once his
the whole mustache thing at one time, and then he had the face shield.
The best one that they had for him was when they had him with Orton and DiBiase.
Legacy.
Yeah,
Legacy was
Yeah.
good.
That was their best for Cody Rhodes and
But
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, I mean,
that was their
Perfect
best.
story.
Yeah.
yeah, I wish they would have kept that a little bit longer. But
Yeah.
the average wrestling fan nowadays, let's move it, let's evolve it, let's
Yeah,
go on to
which-
the next thing.
And
Yeah.
like your tag team champions, like I hate the New Day.
oh kid.
But
Yeah.
but like But you
I
know,
hope New Day's not going to watch this.
okay, I like.
I hope they do.
But anyways, you know, you got them stuck together, and now they finally put like the bar together, which they're for a while. But you know, they put these guys together, and then they break them apart.
Yeah,
right away.
yeah.
And it's like they gotta let them go.
If you're going to put them together, have a long-term, you know, commitment to
Yes.
Yeah.
their
Let 'em marinate a little
gimmick,
bit.
their story,
Yeah.
and let them, and then get us emotionally involved enough that when they do break up, it's like, what? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Right? You can't just put them together, break them up, and it's like,
I mean, look at
For what?
in the '80s, all these tag teams. It's like,
Yeah.
you never thought these guys were going to break up and go on
with
their
Shawn
own.
Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, it's like
that was
what are these guys going to do
that
now? They're
almost
tag
killed me.
team.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yep.
like, yeah, Road Warriors, they were tag team. You know, Dudley Boys, they were tag team. Demolition, they did not. You know,
And those are the greatest teams of all time. The Hart
Yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never broke
Yeah.
them up.
Yep. You can't be seesawing back and forth
No.
just
And
because.
now, like-
come in as a tag team, and it's like,
Keep them that way.
yeah,
Exactly.
And like, you know, the one team today that I wish that they'd give more is the Revival.
yes,
I think
yes.
that they could be a good tag team.
Yeah,
And you know, they're like the modern day brainbusters.
exactly.
Exactly.
You've said
Arn-
that before,
I said
too,
that.
yeah.
I agree.
Exactly.
But
I agree.
Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, you know, they have the look of them,
Yeah.
and they could be. And like I said, they bring Jim Cornette. Obviously, Bobby Heenan's gone, but they bring in somebody like that to be their mouthpiece and get them what they need.
Which I think they do need because they're not really that
No, they're not that
smooth
good.
on the mic. Yeah, they do.
I don't even know their names.
Dash and Dawson.
Duh.
But like Vince is still, that will never happen because Vince is still stuck in the 1985. He wants giant, big, jacked
Yeah.
up. I
wish they would bring back managers, you know,
Yeah.
or bring back a stable. You know, I was so hoping for Paul Heyman to like add more people to his.
Yeah, with
You know.
Lesnar and Rousey.
Yeah,
you know, and
something.
a bunch of people to it. But you know, like, yeah, because like the Midnight Rockers, they started in AWA, and they went the whole AWA till they shut down, and then all of a sudden they're in WWE, and they're the Rockers.
Yeah.
And you know, and like you said, no one ever expected them to split up. And then all of a sudden, Shawn Michaels just super kicks them.
Yeah.
Puts them through the barbershop window. And it's like,
Whose
what
idea
the
was
hell
that? Was that Vince? Was that Vince? It's like, hey, let's.
I don't know if
I see Marty having
Jannetty
a- I see
already
Marty
had
having a drug
issues.
problem.
I think Jannetty had drugs and alcohol, and they wanted to just, all right, split them up so we can at least push the one that,
Yeah.
you know, the strong
The
dog.
one that will end up being a prick and backstabbing Bret Hart.
Yeah, which one can we invest in more? And
he never
look what
liked
happened.
Bret Hart.
I don't know. They're both assholes, I thought.
You ever meet Brett? You met Brett.
Yeah, I met him 2 years ago.
I love Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart, actually. He was just too much of a kind-hearted guy.
Yeah.
You know, he got stepped on.
But you know,
Oh
like,
yeah, the screw job.
Yeah.
That was when wrestling changed right there.
Was that real? Come on, man. What do you guys think?
What do you-
I heard different
You
stories.
think Brett knew?
I heard different
He didn't
stories.
know.
He didn't know. I
There's
don't,
no
I
way.
don't think he knew.
there's no way.
Brett
he
would
knew.
never let that happen
in
to the Hart
Calgary,
name.
and he went to in Canada. That's
Nope.
why there's no way.
That's-
It was,
to me, that's not even a question.
no, he never knew about it.
And
Well, and then he punches Vince.
Yeah.
Spits on him
Spits
at
on him.
ringside, then punched him. Was it the?
Makeup.
What's that? No, but there's a documentary, Wrestling with Shadows. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you got that on DVD?
Yeah.
that's good. That's
And
good.
that
Maybe
was-
VHS.
Yeah, and that was a good documentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
About that.
That was
And,
really good.
You know, I think.
It really tells you how much of a backstabbing little prick Vince is.
Vince.
Lies right to his face.
Yep.
Oh, we'll do that. And then as soon as he closes
we'll let you leave with the title.
exactly.
Don't worry.
As soon as Brett closes his door, okay, we're gonna do that.
Yep.
Yeah. and you know what?
The only person that was in on it was obviously, well, I think
Hunter.
Shawn Michaels,
And the ref.
the ref, and Vince. Those
that
are the only
it?
4 people that knew what was
Earl?
happening.
Yeah, Earl.
And then when it happened, then you had Shawn Michaels pretending, I think. Like,
Oh, yeah.
What
He-
happened? What happened?
yeah.
You know? And
sold
that's
that
why
really good.
And don't get me wrong, Shawn Michaels is one of my favorites. I think he's a great performer.
I just don't understand. I don't understand why Shawn.
because they had a lot of heat.
He was Vince's boy.
Yeah,
But
but
they had a lot
I'll do what you want me to do.
But there
if
was
it's
a
for
lot
title.
of there's a lot of other stuff behind scenes that we probably never heard of, like with Sonny.
yeah.
And there was a lot of
Sonny
a
and
lot
Will.
of what Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and
Kevin Nash,
But
I think,
yeah,
right?
I mean,
but you know what I mean.
that's why I think Brett and Sean hate each other.
You're
It's
fighting over
because-
Sonny?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe, probably.
but
I wouldn't doubt it.
Somebody should have told them there's better people to fight over.
Give her 20 years, guys. She's gonna look like.
But at the time, though, at the time,
At the time, she was.
Yeah.
oh my,
Her and Sable were amazing.
yeah, that was. I mean, we never really got to who we liked. Who
Yeah, let's do that quick.
Who caught our eye?
yeah. What's
So
your favorite?
you met a bunch. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Look,
Favorite-
who
favorite
like when you were growing up,
personality.
who was your favorite
Who
wrestler?
Who caught your attention right away?
Okay. Let me think about that.
Yeah, you got one that really got you. I got to say the Rockers.
Yeah, I would
and,
think so too.
and for me, it'd be the Midnight Rockers.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I meant. Sorry.
AWA
But,
Midnight
you know,
Riders.
Shawn Michaels.
You know, like
Marty-
my favorite thing about them was it was at the Showboat, and it was on a Saturday night taping on WAW. It was the Rockers against Playboy Buddy Rose, Doug Summers for the titles.
Yes.
And that's just a bloodbath.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
might have
remember
been
that.
the first time I
And
ever saw.
I remember when I think it was Doug Summers picked up Marty Jannetty, dropped him on a chair, and they said he broke his ribs. Which
Yeah, I remember watching.
That
Yeah,
yeah.
because it was right at the beginning of the match when
freaking out like, oh my God, is he okay?
yeah,
He's
because it was right at the
bleeding.
beginning of the match when Shawn Michaels he was outside the ring or something, and I can't remember which one it was. Grabbed him and hit his head into the steel post. Then you could see he was on the ground face down while he was bleeding.
Yeah.
And he comes up and he's just gushing with blood. Then all of a sudden Marty Jannetty finally gets in the match, turns it around, a little bit. Then all of a sudden something happens, and it was just one of those matches that, and like I said, it was the Midnight Rockers were, for me, I'd say they were the.
Yeah, I mean with AWA,
That was my early favorite.
AWA
Or Bad Company. I kind of, I kind of like the heels right away.
the what the heck was it? Top Guns.
Yep.
I mean, because they were big guys, and they were quite noticeable.
Was it Derek Dukes and
Derek Dukes? Yes.
and I want to say Kevin Kelly.
No, wasn't Kevin Kelly.
Because see, there was
He
a
was with Sherry.
a Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
Yep,
That was Wayne the Train Blumen, Mean Mike Enos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them because they wore hard hats, and then they had
The safety vest.
they had
on.
safety vests, and there was a construction zone
Yeah.
sign
Yeah.
that we'd walk through.
Did they have
or
that
something.
gimmick in AWA or WCW?
AWA. Yeah. Because then I think they had it. They might have
They
had
took it to WCW
Oh, no,
too.
weren't they the Beverly Brothers?
Beverly
Yeah.
Brothers and
Beverly
WWE.
Brothers.
WWE then.
Yeah.
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 But no, I'd say if you want, like for a single wrestler, obviously Hulk Hogan. When I remember seeing him at the Quant one time.
See, he was out of AWA by the time we.
Yeah,
started
I don't
watching.
remember him
I
there.
remember seeing him. Like I went with my older sisters or whatever. We went to the Quant one time, but yeah.
remember-
That's one advantage you had. You had older siblings that could introduce you or take you to this
because
stuff.
my mom and dad had kids in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
There's
mistaken.
like 34 kids.
Yeah.
But no, I
close.
remember watching early on wrestling was Kurt Hennig and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
That feud.
Yep. Yeah. For,
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
for the title.
Yeah, I remember that. Early
Kurt Hennig was
stages.
one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think Scott Hall was kind of already
gone.
On his way.
on
to
his way
something.
out.
He was
Yeah,
either South or WCW.
'cause that's when they were pushing Kurt Hennig, and I really don't remember who else was.
I know Baron
champion at
von
the time.
Roschke was big there. Wildfire, I remember watching him. Was Larry Zbyszko in AWA
Yeah.
at that
He
time?
was earlier.
Rick Martel was
Yeah,
big
yeah.
in AWA back then.
Yep.
Because I want to say it was him and Zbyszko were the last main feud for the AWA title, if I'm not mistaken,
Went before it died out.
before it died out.
I'll probably say the first thing that got me into wrestling that I really loved was the Freebirds. I
And
just
that
loved
was
their style.
that was world class, right?
Yeah, how you like heels? They were just the cool heels.
Yeah, 'cause- yeah.
See, I probably would have been attracted to the Von Erichs, like Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Kerry
he
Von
was
Erich
he was the
Kerry Von Erich
steroid
was
guy.
awesome.
You know,
I was always attracted.
no,
No,
That's hard work
he wasn't
training.
that big.
I was always attracted to the cocky heels,
Arrogance,
and
just like, whoa, I don't talk like that. That's cool.
one of my favorite wrestlers, and I think I've told you this. He was part of the Freebirds, but he never really talked. Was Terry Gordy?
Yeah.
I thought he was an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
He didn't have a mic skills to
No
save his
mic.
life. So
Yeah.
that's why
He
they
didn't
always
need it. He just beat the crap out of
Yeah.
anybody. I still got my AWA action figures, and I have the Freebirds. You think about it, I was like, oh, I should have never took those out of the package, but I was like, I think I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade when I got them because I broke my wrist. And I got them early because I broke my wrist and it was in school.
Just to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, so I got those, and I opened them up early, but I have the Road Warriors.
Where were you getting those?
I don't know, my mom and dad got them for me for Christmas. I got the AWA ring.
They had to have been Shopko or Kmart.
We had to go out of town to like KB Toys to get like the big rubber.
I had the big rubber WWF ones, like Iron Sheik and the Hillbilly Jam, and I got the ring.
Yeah, I just found Savage and
It was
Hogan the other day.
It was amazing, like just luck who was wrestling during the WWF. There was a wrestler called Ted Arcidi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They had a Corporal Kirshner doll.
They had a Corporal Kirshner
too,
doll.
and
They
what
had
did he ever
Ted
do?
Arcidi doll.
Like maybe a
Ted
dozen or
Arcidi.
so.
Yeah.
Ted Arcidi lasted in WWF maybe a month.
Yeah.
SD Special Delivery Jones.
Yeah.
Him in his Hawaiian shirt. But no, they're Remco figures from the AWA.
They were hard plastic.
hard plastic.
I don't think I've ever seen those.
I'll have to show you sometime because I got them. I got a Ric Flair. I got the Fabulous Freebirds. I had 2 sets of Road Warriors, one with Paul Eller and just the Road Warriors.
We do need to do.
Black Peds.
We need to
No
do a
pads,
field
right?
trip to
Have
your
a-
shrine.
Dog collars.
Oh.
We need to plan a field trip to your
you gotta
shrine.
wait till I
You're gonna
clean
clean the
up.
basement.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah, I've
check
heard
that out.
about this shrine. I want to see it.
At least pictures.
Oh, I can show you a picture.
And one thing he's offered to do for the show is any doubles and stuff. He's gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a weekly
like
giveaways.
I said, even
weekly giveaways.
yeah, we can start that maybe on the next episode. I can bring something and like a autograph picture of. I know I got plenty of Road Warrior Animal, Marty Jannetty, but no, I got
Is he in prison?
No, I think he's
No.
doing porn movies.
No, he just had sex with his stepdaughter or something, didn't he?
He did something
you guys are
fucked
way
up.
off.
He did something fucked
You guys
up.
are way off.
It
Marty
was on the
Jannetty-
internet.
It's not Marty Jannetty. Marty
You
Jannetty.
told me he did something screwed up with his.
His daughter or
No,
stepdaughter.
that's Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe.
Was it?
Yeah, he's the one that's in prison.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, because it was this.
Because you're the one that told me about Marty Jannetty.
I thought Marty
No.
Jannetty was in trouble for something like that.
I just met him at the. I went to
thought he
Milwaukee
started
Admirals
doing porn.
last year. I went to Milwaukee Admirals game, and it was him, Christian, and Lita.
No
where they
kidding.
signed autographs, and I met him.
What a weird combination.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right, totally random, right?
But that's who they had, and well, that's why in February usually the Milwaukee Admirals have a Salute to Wrestling night. And like the first year, the only reason I saw it was that one year they gave away a Crusher bobblehead. For AWA because he's from South Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So I got a bobblehead of the Crusher with his foot on a half barrel of beer.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Then they had like 5 people there sign autographs, and then I'm like, well, I got to keep an eye out for this. Well, then that's where I could have met Dusty Rhodes because he was there signing autographs years prior to that. But now I keep an eye on it every year, and I go. But
I gotta get your number. I'm gonna start road tripping with you.
It's how many times when you were at Menards, I would come in and see you just to talk wrestling.
yeah,
And it's like, oh, I met this guy yesterday. I met this guy last week. I'm like, God damn it. And now he's like, well, I'm going to Kenosha. You want to come with? I'm like, wow, that's pretty far. He goes all over the place, all over the state.
well, just around the state.
Yeah.
I wish I could go farther, but you got to have some limitations.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
wife would probably kill me if I went too far.
My wife would probably be like, yeah, go.
Well, maybe that's something we can start doing too, So this is the first episode or chapter 1 of Point 4. So you can expect more episodes of Stevens Point's main event. We're going to have the Twitter giveaways. So we're going to probably do like a share, subscribe, and then you enter to win something, So that might be something interesting for y'all to look into in the future. So, anybody else got anything else? I think we should shut it down. This is probably 2 or 3 hours already. So.
We could go extra innings.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know,
we got a
could.
lot
We've
more.
got a lot of material. We've got 30 years of
We can
material.
have plenty of episodes.
So, what do we want to talk about? Chapter 2.
Let's talk about the next step in wrestling when Vince started kind of taking over stuff and seeing the change.
All right, we'll go through changes.
Attitude Era. Or
Yeah.
Prior to the Attitude Era and Attitude Era.
Monday
Chapter
Night Raw,
2
when
changes.
The
The
Monday Night
dawn
Wars.
of yeah.
Monday Night Wars. All right, chapter 2 will be called Chapters or Changes.
Changes. The death of the territories.
Yeah, that's pre-changes. So, all right, everybody, thanks for watching.
Peace.
By the hour, 10 pounds of golden shower. Gotta see the vision, one that's on the ground, on a positive holler. Blank minds are always hollow, they'll be soon to follow. Living on the ground, can't stand the sea. Try to keep in motion, 'cause I feel so clean. Can't stand the sea. Try to keep in motion.